All right. Woods, 1 second. How are you? Wait. Let me see if I'm live already. Jason Gunn, Jason Gunn. Okay, it looks like I'm live. Cool, I'm live. All right. Welcome back to Ask Jason Anything About Facebook Ads. Yeah, as usual, this is where I go live every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time to answer questions that I get from my community about Facebook advertising, Meta advertising, Instagram advertising, anything that matters. If this is the first time you see me, my name is Jason. I'm from Malaysia. I'm a Meta Ads optimization strategist. So if you have been running ads on Facebook and you want to take it to the next level, or you have been running ads but can't seem to find success in it, you want to have somebody to come and work with you to design the strategy and set it up with you, well, actually, you can, just go to my YouTube channel, look for the link, and let's have a quick chat to see whether we can work together. Otherwise, there will be some courses and everywhere. But what do I do here is I'll be answering questions for 30 minutes, mainly the questions that I receive from my community on my YouTube channel. But if you have any questions, if you're watching this live, you can post your questions in the chat. And what I'm going to do is after I actually go through all the questions I have, I will come back to the questions that I received live over here to answer your questions, right? So let me take this up. So it's called the Ask Jason Anything About Facebook Ads. Now we should call it Meta Ads. I probably should start changing it already. So yeah, mainly we talk about everything Facebook ads. Okay, so yeah, if you have any questions, first I would recommend that you go to my YouTube channel, because I posted over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel on Facebook advertising. Chances are I probably have covered something similar to your concern or your challenge right now. So if you can find an answer, great. Just move on to do whatever you need to do, because there will be a lot more questions coming your way when it comes to Meta advertising. But if you cannot find an answer, doesn't matter. All you need to do is just post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. And what I'm going to do is I would screenshot your question, and on the following Sunday, I will be, answering your questions live, that which you will see how it works in, like in a few minutes time. So yeah, so that's how it works. Okay, but if you want to join me live and ask me questions, feel free. Right, just in case you have something more urgent, or you have something that you want to discuss privately, you don't want to go live, you can scan this QR code, which it will take you to my Fiverr gig, where you can purchase a 30-minute one-on-one Zoom session with me. Then we will be able to just, have a one-on-one 30 minutes to go through whatever. You can share your screen. We can look at your settings. We can answer your questions. We can, dive into your campaign metrics to find actionable insights to improve your campaign performance, anything. So it's really just you and me. Scan this QR code. Yeah, and I look forward to work with you. Now, just in case you're looking for something more, like if you're looking to learn Meta advertising yourself, which is totally recommended. I would say everybody, whether you are going to hire an agency or you're going to have your team doing this for you, you yourself as a business owner should understand the in and out of Meta advertising. So Meta Ads Blueprint 2025 is exactly the right course for you. So basically inside this is a 4.5 hour recorded training where we cover everything, right? From the very beginning, we talk about the latest changes, tools and features that you need to know in Meta Ads Manager in 2025, which is really crucial, I believe. And then we will talk about how do we design Meta Ads strategy for e-commerce, lead gen, e-commerce marketplace like Shopee and Lazada. I'll break down the steps on how I design strategy. How do we allocate budget for top of funnel, retargeting? How do we design the audience targeting? How do we design the creative messaging and all? So yeah, and then after that, the next module will be, it's a step-by-step walkthrough on me walking you through how do I set up Meta Ads campaign for e-commerce, for Shopee, Lazada, for lead generation, with step-by-step walkthrough. So you will be able to just learn this and implement and start working on your own campaign right away. So it's a practical course, basically. And then on top of that, I will be also sharing my latest Meta Ads scaling and optimization techniques in 2025. So that's really something that I believe every Meta advertiser should learn, because setting up an ad is actually the easiest part. But the next thing is about really knowing what's working and what's not. How do we take it to the next level? How do we interpret the data? All these are crucial things that I believe everybody should know. So if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code and you can sign up for the course and you can start learning right away. All right. Now, just in case you need more hands-on help, you have done learning on your own and you just need somebody to come in and just set up, design the strategy and set it up for you. I do take a handful of clients every month where I would design your ad strategy and I will set it up for you. So this involves a 260-minute one-on-one Zoom call where in the first call, we will talk about your goals, your KPI, and then we will go through your budget and then budgeting, and we talk about audience targeting, we talk about creative direction, and then we also look at your landing page, your website, your e-commerce website and whatever, and I will give you recommendations on the landing page as well. So yeah, I would not design the creative for you, but I will give you the direction and I will work with your team to make sure that we have an optimized creative. So once we have everything ready on the second call, you and I is gonna go on the Zoom call, invite anyone who needs to join, and we would set up the campaign together. So everything will be recorded. You can take this as your future in-house training program that you can use to train your team. So yeah, that's something that you're looking for. Then, scan this QR code. Let's have a quick chat to see whether we are a good fit to work together. Otherwise, I'll point you to the right direction to get started. Okay, now let's go into the questions that I get. Remember, if you have any questions, if you're watching this live, post your questions in the comment. Once I finish all the questions I have here, I'll come back to your to answer your questions live. Right now, the first question is coming from Kel. So you are asking for recommendations when dealing with chargebacks. Do you have a favorite software to deal with those? I am sorry, I do not have much experience with chargeback because I don't have a lot of opportunities to deal with that. And secondly, my client seems to not have a lot of chargeback issues. So far, it's not really my concern and I don't have any software to recommend for that. But I do believe that if you search for it on Google, you definitely can find some. And I definitely believe if there is a problem, there must be a solution. So good luck finding that, all right? So the next question we have is coming from Murray. So Murray is asking about, this question is specifically about long-term retargeting. So as you can see here, like Murray is saying that first she has a 15-day retargeting and 30-day retargeting excluding 15-day, 60-day retargeting exclude 30 days, and 90 days retargeting exclude 60 days. Now, I have a few things that I want to talk about long-term retargeting. First thing first, when it comes to retargeting, remember, no matter how many campaigns or ad sets we have, we only spend not more than 20 to 30% of our overall ads budget on retargeting. So if you're talking about you're spending 100 each for all 4 of them, that means your daily budget must be more than $1,000, or you're talking about monthly. So you get what I mean? So I would not spend more than 20 to 30%. It really depends. And yeah, so that's the first thing. Remember, we spend 80% on top of funnel because that's to make sure that we have constant inflow, strong inflow of audiences coming in from the top of funnel. So for e-commerce, usually top of funnel may convert, may not, but it's really essential that we have strong retargeting in place. Like for example, we have this 15 days retargeting, which is the top tier, meaning immediately you come in, I will retarget for 15 days. And then usually we would take a break. So for Murray's structure here is you immediately retarget them on the 16 to 30 days. So, and then after that, you have 30 days to 60 days. So technically, if you look at your structure, if you look at it correctly, okay, you are going to retarget them for at least, so it looks like you were 60, 30 days. It's a non-stop 60-day retargeting campaign here. You see, the first, you have 15-day retargeting, which is the day 1 to day 15. Second is day 16 to day 30. Okay, and then after that is day 60 exclude 30, which means it starts from day 31 to day 60. So it's a 2-month non-stop retargeting. Although you break it into different ad set, it's a 2-month long retargeting. So my first question to you is it necessary to have 2-month retargeting? You get what I mean? That's why if you look through really my design, I actually have a gap in between. So I usually would do like maybe 15-day retargeting. And then, day 45-day retargeting exclude 30 days. That gives the audience a 15 days break. So they will only start seeing my ad on day 30. So they will see from day 1 to day 15. And then they stop from day 16 to day 30. On day 31 to day 45, they'll see it again. So if you look at this in that sequence, I give a breather to my audiences. Otherwise, you are, for your structure here, you are doing constant retargeting for 60 days. And that's I don't know, man, that's gonna make people hate you for sure. So you got to be really careful about retargeting. So you see, when it comes to retargeting, so that's the first rule of thumb. All right, I would not spend more than 20 to 30% on retargeting. So you look at your budget again. Second, retargeting, long-term retargeting may not work for everyone. So if you look at this, right, when I design long-term retargeting, I usually design it for e-commerce. Why? Because e-commerce, especially for certain products, okay, we want to remind the audience to come back and buy again. Because this is, like a fast-moving consumer good, and it's a perishable. People just need to buy it constantly, stocking it up and stuff like that. So yeah, so if you are under that category, like for example, one of my clients who is selling adult diapers works really well for long-term retargeting. So we have a short retargeting, so top of funnel, 15 days retargeting, and then after that, every 30 days, we come back to them for up to even 6 months. We constantly have very good result coming in from those long-term retargeting. But yet again, we spend really, really, really minimal. So you got to watch your frequency. When it comes to retargeting, for long-term retargeting, you really want to spend very little because you don't want to have your frequency to go higher than 8. Otherwise, it's going to be fatigue. So it's really important for us to monitor the data when it comes to long-term retargeting to make sure that we are not overspending, we are not overreaching. That's the key. And then if also another thing is we really want to monitor the result. If it's not working constantly for a while, that means it's not necessary to have such long-term retargeting. So it's really not for everyone, especially for lead gen. To be frank, in my opinion, I wouldn't build this kind of structure for lead gen. Because frankly speaking, especially if you're doing a free lead gen, you're not selling anything. It's like something that you're interested, you come on board. If you're not, then off you go. Retargeting is sometimes it may not be necessary. So for retargeting, in most of the cases, I would work on fixing on the top of funnel because usually we need the top of funnel to work when it comes to lead gen. Retargeting, it really depends. Based on my observation, in fact, recently, I think when I say recently, it's about recent 2 to 3 years. Retargeting may not work that well or may not be that important when it comes to lead generation campaign. So yeah, but I'm not objecting. The whole structure sounds interesting. So I would say just, make sure that you're not over retargeting. The 60-day retargeting is definitely not necessary. Well, you can set it up with minimal budget and give it a week or two. Sometimes if the audience is really small, then it may not work. It may take some time to work. Give it some time to brew, like after a week or two, then let's analyze the campaign. So you know where to find this thing. So whenever you're ready, scan this QR code. This will take you to my Fiverr, my Fiverr gig where you can book a 30 minutes one-on-one Meta Ads review by me. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the campaign and, I will build a dashboard for you or all the metrics that we need to monitor. And then after that, I will teach you how to analyze the metrics and all. And I'm going to build you a plan. Like, after we analyze the campaign, the metrics and everything, I'm going to draw a plan on things that we need to look into, the steps that we can possibly take. So step 1, let's try this. Step 2, let's try this, to build a plan for optimization. So especially if you're actually having such complex structure for retargeting, try it. Then, well, whenever you're ready, scan this QR code, let's have a quick chat. But for those who are watching this and you kind of find this interesting, you do not know how to set this up, I just want to quickly, jump over and look at this. Like, this is my Meta Ads Blueprint 2025. It's a 4.5-hour recorded training where I would actually walk you through how do I design the strategy like that for e-commerce, for long-term retargeting, and how do I set up the campaign with step-by-step walkthrough. So what kind of, how do we target inclusion, exclusion, and all this kind of thing. I'm going to walk you through in great detail so that you will be able to set it up on your own. So if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code and happy learning, right? Thanks for the question. Now, the next is coming from Patra. So Patra is asking if Meta Ads can't track CPAS activity, then you should be doing ads on Shopee ads instead. Right now, here's the thing. When it comes to CPAS, it can definitely track your metrics if you do have CPAS access. Here's the thing. If you don't have CPAS, you don't have it. If you have it, you'll be able to track almost everything. Meaning, first you need to understand what is CPAS. CPAS is really a feature where Shopee or Lazada, they will create a catalog based on your store, your products, and it would actually connect it to your ads account so that you'll be able to run ads. You can do retargeting and all the attributions, like how many of them added to cart, how much they, how much is your cost per purchase, your ROAS and everything is going to be in the ads manager. You will have full control 100%. So that's really the best feature if you are selling on Shopee and Lazada, because that gives you the full transparency and it allows you to really run ads effectively to really drive people to your Shopee store and attribute all the orders, the purchase and conversions accordingly. However, okay, for certain category, I think Shopee ads plays a significant role as well. So I'm not saying that you should consider run Shopee ads all the way or CPaaS ads all the way. It's really about striking balance. In fact, most of my clients who are actually having CPaaS Facebook ads also run Shopee ads. It's simply because if your category is something that people will search for on Shopee, you should place the ad because it actually helps people find you. And the people who, all the people who actually search for you on Shopee, they have very high purchase intent. Let's put it this way. Like I have a nail polish client. We do Facebook ads. We spend quite sizable on Facebook ads. We, expose people. We tell people how nice our nail polish and our colors are. And then from there, we get good ROAS coming in. But for Shopee, we place ad for two reasons. First, nail polish is actually a category where people will go to Shopee and find nail polish. So that's one thing that we will go. And secondly, if you run ads on Facebook, people would actually kind of see it, sometimes if you're in the rush, right? You see the ad, you don't buy right away, but after a while you say, I remember this brand, I want to come back, If people search for you on Shopee or even Google, okay, you want to make sure that you appear because that's even really higher intent. So when we run ads when our clients run ads, we don't just run ads on Facebook, Instagram. In fact, we run ads on Shopee, Google even. In fact, if you are running Facebook ads, you should really consider buying your keyword ads on Google, like your brand keyword, your brand name, especially your branding, because when people search for you, you want to make sure that you appear. So that's really high intent searches over there. That's why it's not really about picking a site to go. It's about building a very holistic advertising journey that captures your audience from everywhere they are looking for you. So yeah, basically for CPaaS, back to this question, like I say, if you have CPaaS, you should run ads because if you have CPaaS means you can track. For sure, you can track. Yeah, it's just some, there might be some discrepancy where, some may not have a full picture of the number. You probably would have maybe 80 to 90% accuracy, which is good enough. It's already good enough for the campaign to learn meaningfully and for you to get good results from there. So yeah, so that's my question. My quick answer to you. But just in case you are confused about this, you want to, you have CPaaS and you are not sure how to set up CPaaS and you are not sure how to attribute and look at the data, I in fact recommend my Meta Ads Blueprint 2025 because that gives you really in-depth training on how do we set up campaign for CPaaS and how do we analyze campaign metrics for CPaaS and everything. So yeah, so this is a course that I would recommend. It's a recorded training, 4.5 hours. It covers everything. Basically, just scan this QR code, take a look at it. If it's good for you, then you can sign up and start learning right away. Okay, happy learning. Thanks for the question. Now, the next one is coming from Diona. So, the question is frequency under 2 ideal? In fact, it's really depends. Now, first thing first, when it comes to frequency, we have 2 types of frequency to look at. Now, first, we have top of funnel campaign. Then we have retargeting campaign. Now, for top of funnel, because the main purpose of top of funnel ads is actually meant to go out and find as many people as possible, to reach as many people as possible. So we want our frequency to be below 2. So when it comes to frequency below 2, how many days are we actually looking at the date range? Usually 7 days, all right? We don't look at 30 days. 30 days is definitely, I don't know, sometimes you still have below 2, but it's okay to have slightly higher than 2 if you are looking at 30 days. But for 7 days, ideally for top of funnel, we want it to be below 2. Then when it comes to retargeting, it really depends on your retargeting journey. So let's say, for example, if you are doing e-commerce and your general retargeting duration is 7 days, for example. So for 7 days, ideal frequency for retargeting would be 3 to 8. It really depends on the product that you are selling. Some benefit from 3. Some may need to go out to 5 to 6 because it takes a little bit of reminder for the people to start taking action on your ad. It really depends on the product. So you need to test. So let's say, for example, if you have retargeting, if your frequency is at 2 to 3, consider increasing the budget a little bit to see whether it pushes the frequency to higher, and watch your ROAS coming in, whether it's converting or not. Okay, so yeah, there must be a sweet spot. For every campaign, I wouldn't say this is the best frequency. It has to be 3, it has to be 5, it has to be 8. My client has got various combinations. Some of them actually would have a sweet spot of 6, meaning it has to hit 6 in order to, like get meaningful results. Below that, the conversion is not working so well. So you really have to test. That's why all these really takes a lot of testing and all that. So basically, that's the basic of the frequency, the rule of thumb of frequency for top of funnel and retargeting. But yet again, it takes a like a really subtle experiment adjustment to find the best sweet spot. So if you need help working together on a campaign, I think the best way is run ads for at least a week or 2 for top of funnel and retargeting. And then after that, you can scan this QR code where it will take you to my Fiverr gig, where you can purchase a one-on-one Facebook ads audit by me. So in 30 minutes over Zoom call, just you and me, we're going to dive into your metrics. So we're going to do 3 things together. First, I will build you a Meta Ads dashboard. I will pull out all the metrics that you need to track for your campaign. And then after that, I will build it in your ads manager so that you can always come back to it. And then we will analyze the number together, and I will walk you through how do we analyze and make sense of the numbers. And finally, the third thing is I'm going to build you a plan. So we're going to list down like these are the 3 things that we can test. Now, first thing, and then after that, after a week, if it works, then, test second thing and third thing and stuff like that. So this is really meaningful if you're running ads on Facebook and you're not sure whether your campaign is working or not, and you're not sure what to do about it. Scan this QR code. I look forward to work with you. All right. Now, I think this is the last question I have. So the last question is coming from Calais. So you are asking how much you spend on top of funnel campaign before running retargeting campaign. Now, this is exactly one of the main mistakes a lot of advertisers make, because they always thought that you need to run top of funnel campaign first. After a while, then only you run your retargeting campaign. Wrong. Okay, so basically your top of funnel campaign and your retargeting should be running continuously together at the same time. Meaning the top of funnel ads and the retargeting are running parallel. So both of them has to be running active when you launch the campaign. Why? Because the moment you see the top of funnel ad, you click on the ad, you go to the website, you don't buy. Once you leave the website, you should be retargeting them right away, because that's where they are still warm about you. They still remember you. Just imagine if you retarget them like 1 week later, meaning, like these people come to your website, they browse, they don't do shit, and then you just leave it as that. 1 week later, you'd only decide to turn on your retargeting, then it comes back to them and say that, oh, you were here. Do you think you will remember what you, like, let's put it this way, what you had last week? You don't remember. You don't even remember what you had yesterday for dinner. I mean, you don't. So it's really important for us to retarget the people when they are warm. Retargeting has to go immediately. It has to be immediate, because that's where they remember you. So yeah, that's the most effective retargeting. That's why the right question is how much to spend on top of funnel, how much to spend on retargeting. So the right structure is usually 80% on the top of funnel, 20% on retargeting. That's why we spend minimum on retargeting, but usually the retargeting will give us really good results. When we balance up the top of funnel and retargeting, we have overall better conversion coming in from there. So that's the whole idea of top of funnel and retargeting. It's an evergreen campaign kind of thing. All right. So yeah, both has to go simultaneously. So if you are kind of confused and still not sure how to build your top of funnel retargeting, how do we do? And we may have some long-term retargeting kind of stuff. I would strongly recommend that you go through Meta Ads Blueprint 2025, because that's the course that teaches you everything you need to know about how do we design a Meta Ads strategy for top of funnel, retargeting, for e-commerce, for lead gen, for Shopee, Lazada, and everything. And then after that, I would actually walk you through how do I set up campaign for each and every one of them. Like for e-commerce, how do we do exclusion, retargeting? For long-term retargeting, how do we actually structure the campaign, and everything in great detail, so that you can learn and immediately apply on your own campaign right away. So if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code. It's a 4.5-hour recorded training. It covers everything. Okay, from everything you need to know, even up to the optimization and scaling technique in 2025. So scan this QR code, purchase the course, start learning right away, and happy learning and all the best. All right, so that's all the question I get this week. Looks like we don't have any questions coming in the live chat. Thank you so much for watching. all the best, and I hope I answer your questions. Keep those questions coming and share with your friends, whoever who's running ads and may need some help. Just invite them to join this channel where we do things like this together every week and Sunday night. I'm gonna go live answering your questions. So yeah, any questions, just post it as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. And yeah, that's it. That's all we have today. Thank you for watching. Have an awesome week ahead. I see you next week. Good night. Bye.